Hello and welcome to Gadsby's England. There's a little smile on my face because it's Euro 2020 begins today in a few hours time. You must be bloody excited too. Come on, all your curmudgeons out there. This is a year late. We waited for this. Oh, it's happening. And of course, England are going to walk it, aren't they? I mean, we all know that. Straight through to the final, European champions. In fact, you don't even need to watch it. Just turn up again July the 13th or whatever it is, and England will be champions of Europe. Okay, but if that doesn't happen, let's do a show.
Where's your famous? Where's your famous? Where's your famous atmosphere? Where's your
Delighted to say I'm joined by Mr. Dion Goldman, the Goldster Jr, to Let's Analyse Everything. Dion, are you there, sir?
I am here.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Finally, a pundit with logic and sense, unlike Goldster and Golding.
Well, you know, exactly. You picked the best brother, haven't you?
We love them too. You know, we'll let them out of the cellar when we're out of this, and let them. We'll tell them the results.
When we win the competition.
Yeah. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm excited about.
Oh, I know. God,
I've been
tournament
waiting for it.
It's that opening tournament day feel, isn't it?
Indeed, yeah. But it's exciting, and we've been, waiting for it for a long time, and it's something for the country to look forward to after the terrible year we've had before. So it's just excitement, really.
Yeah,
and confidence as well. We've got to be confident.
Yeah, and I think having that extra year, it's like there's a sort of like thank goodness it's here aspect to this as well. We were never going to have it, and I think it's taken on even bigger significance. We are talking about the third biggest sporting event in the world after the World Cup and the Olympics. I don't think people forget that. I know it's only Europe, but it will be watched all over the world, of course. And I've got friends back in the States. Of course, why we're doing it for the American audience as much as anything.
Indeed,
just chomping at a bit, ready for it. But so we have 2 days of letting other countries be nervous before we go through hell. So that's one thing. So it's oh, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, I got to keep saying this, Dion. Please hit subscribe and please like, because now we've got this YouTube channel.
You've got to plug the YouTube channel. You've got to plug it.
I'm universal, mate. Everywhere that you can see us, you'll be forced to see us. Tough luck.
Any bit of social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
I'm going out the window afterwards. I'm going to be dancing at the windows. I'll take whatever I can get until I'm arrested.
Good man.
So hit subscribe on Facebook. I don't know, just like it, or just how about just watching. But all right, mate. So obviously time's short because the tournament begins in a few hours. What are your overall thoughts, tips, and hopes for the tournament, first of all?
Well, last big tournament we very unexpectedly got to the semi-final, which was, we were out there for it. It was unbelievable. It was an amazing ride. Can we replicate that? Possibly. We've got a lot of home advantage because we're playing a lot of the games at Wembley. It could be that Euro 96 nostalgic feeling that we could be getting again, and once you get on that wave, we could get to the final. We nearly got to the final Euro 96 with the whole country behind us. There's a bit more to it as well because of this terrible year we've had previous. So who knows if we can get some momentum going? We've certainly got players to do it. And we need a bit of luck. That's what you always need, luck to get to, to win something, to get to a final. But I'm quietly confident we can do it, as long as we keep key players fit, they get some bad injuries, and we've got a very, very good squad, big squad we've got, and having that extra, few players, is 26-man squad. I think that's going to count to our advantage over probably more than most of the teams in the competition. Because of the talent we've got, we can take some extra talented players who are on the bench, and we've got those options then to bring on if we need. You just think of the talent we've got there, that, okay, they're not experienced, but, if they're good enough, they're old enough in my book. Bellingham, Saka, Sancho, Ben White, Foden, Grealish, maybe one or two of them starts. But that talent we've got, I don't think we've had that for a long time. We certainly didn't have it in the World Cup.
No, I mean, there are people saying it is the most complete team on paper that England have. I mean, there isn't a weakness in it if you were to sort of identify each individual player from their club. They are, I wouldn't say world class, but they are all, incredibly strong. Whereas we've always before, we might have had a left side weakness or right side weakness or weakness. I do think there are defensive issues, but in terms of, like, if you look at the team technically, people are saying, that is the strongest team they've seen. This is what I'm just saying. People say, I'm not sure if I agree with it, but I mean, what's your take on that?
I don't think it's the strongest team that we've had, but possibly the squad could be. I agree. Defensively, we're a bit lightweight, but we've got a bit of a hidden gem in Ben White. I've seen a lot of Ben White because obviously I'm a Leeds fan. I saw him play for us for the year that we were, got promotion, won the championship. I know it's only the championship, but it's a very hard league to play, and I saw a lot of him. He's a very good player, and I think he's one of the players that could step up in the tournament. I really do believe it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he likes him. Oh, sorry, yeah, it'd be one of these sort of ironic situations, wouldn't it, where he barely made it into the squad, he makes it, and then actually play. He's, I could see that happening because there was Trevor Sinclair principle, I call it. Trevor Sinclair was the standby player for 2002 World Cup.
Yeah.
And he ended up going, I think, because there was an injury, and he ended up playing pretty much throughout the tournament.
And he had a good tournament, if I remember. Yeah, I know. We obviously that the Brazil quarter final, quarter final. But a good tournament. Yeah, so it can happen like that.
Absolutely. Right then, so let's sort of look at England's group first, and we'll do the other groups. What I want to do is kind of get overall picks here, and Dion's thoughts on the groups. But let's start with the what do we call it? Not the creme de la creme, but the one of most importance. Oh, I can't even think. England, Croatia, Scotland, Czech Republic. How do you see it going?
Well, always notoriously opening games are the most important. You want to get your win. At the minimum, don't get beat. Even a draw wouldn't be a bad result. It's a bit of a funny group. Everyone thought, the group we're in, it's fairly easy, but it's a tough group. Scotland, are a much better side than people think. They are, definitely. They'll have their country behind them. There's a lot of Scots, obviously, living in England that'll be behind them. They've got some home advantages as well, playing, I think, at Hampden Park. So don't write them off at your peril. And then when they come to play England, it's like a derby game. So it goes out the window. So that can go either way. And Czech Republic, again, they're a team on the up. They've got, I think, 4 players out of the first starting 11 that got to the Euro quarter final with Slavia Prague. So they've had some big players have had some really good seasons. And obviously the 2 boys at West Ham, Souček and Kafal, they're great seasons for West Ham. So they have got some good players there, and they're not in it. They're not here just to make up the. So sorry, I forgot.
we got lost.
Sorry.
A bit there. Don't leave us. You're the good-looking one.
Well, thank you. So they're not here to make it the numbers. Czech Republic. They want to qualify from the group,
and they beat us.
And they did, yeah.
First qualifying game we lost in the Euros or the World Cup since I think 2009 or something, wasn't it? Excuse me.
Correct. Yeah. And then Croatia, always a good side, technically good. They're a little bit coming to the end, a bit of an aging team, but the midfield class, Modric, 35 years of age, but still brilliant player. And then Perisic, class, Milan, Brozovic as well at Inter Milan. And Kovacic, who's been at Chelsea this season, had a really good season at Chelsea, winning the Champions League. And so, always a dangerous side. So it's going to be a tough group. And
Croatia. Sorry. No, I was going to say Croatia will love being told, they're an aging side, won't they? All every hour of the day. That's just red rag to a bull for them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Go on. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying they were saying that in the semi-final at the World Cup, and look what happened.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that the press sort of whips up, and it's peril, and we're under no illusions. Dion, you'll be at the Scotland game, won't you? I think I've got to do doing Croatia with your kid.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. Yeah.
So yeah, and then of course Scotland. Until recently, England, would not have, put it politely, would not really have been too scared of Scotland, taking out the fact that it's a derby game and that it's a tournament. But Scotland have got an incredibly improved side. They just put the Netherlands to 2-2. They should have beaten the Netherlands. They were unlucky. And Clark seems to have got this team really tight, really playing as a team. They are going to seize this opportunity of being in a major tournament for the first time since 1998. And when you put a team like Scotland and they're together and they're united, as we saw with Wales 4 years ago, they can be 5 years ago. They can be a very dangerous proposition, especially to the old enemy.
Look what can happen. Look what Wales did. Who would have thought Wales would got to the semi-final of a major competition? So anything can happen.
Yeah, and that's going to be a tough game in the middle game. And, we sing this song, England sing this song, Scotland get battered everywhere they go. That's maybe should put that one on, put the record player on hold on that one. So that's one not to sing to.
Yeah, they will be really fired up for it.
Get a new song for the time being, yeah. All right, let's go through the groups then. We can get your almighty opinions. What Dion says, by the way, goes. It's going to happen. You heard it here first. Group A, Italy, Switzerland, Turkey, Wales. Tonight's game then, we'll start off with Italy, Turkey.
It's a tough opening game. Turkey are a decent side and defensively good. So it's going to be a tough one for Italy. I'll probably see Italy just edging that one with a win. But it's a tough one to call that. The opening game's always a hard one to call.
It is. And Italy have obviously not been in a tournament since 2016. So it's such a surprise for them. And a lot of people are tipping them as dark horses,
Exactly. Yeah.
A tournament team. We just see your name, Dion Goldman, without your
just hold on one moment.
Beautiful face. Yeah, we can only get him for a while. We can't afford him. We can have his letters on the screen, but we can't have his face.
Sorry, I'm back.
So Group A then, Italy back in the fold. And then Switzerland, Turkey, Wales. Yeah, the first game is tricky. But how do you see that group going?
Well, I do see Italy going through, and I think it's between actually. I'm going to say Turkey and Wales. I think Wales might edge it. Again, they're going to have some, home crowds behind them, which could get them through. So I think it's hard. It's going to be very hard.
Who's got the home crowds?
Is Wales? Are Wales
No.
playing? They're not playing in Cardiff.
They're not playing at Cardiff. No, that's all right. But hey, listen, nobody knows. Until 2 weeks ago, nobody knew where anything was. You know, apparently England are playing at Wembley, but you know,
we're playing at Wembley. I hope we are.
Hold the thought until Sunday, because you just never know with COVID what might happen.
Where are Wales playing?
You know what? I think what happened was Cardiff was going to be there, but with all the reshuffle and everything, things changed. So Wales are playing in Baku tomorrow night, if you can believe that.
Oh, God, wow. So that's a bit of a track out.
So that'll be like a home game. And then Turkey-Wales is also in Baku, and then Italy-Wales is in Rome. So it's tricky, you know. And the Turks probably will have their following in Baku. So but where do Wales play Switzerland tomorrow? Wales, Switzerland tomorrow. Sorry, say that again.
Well, I might have to take that one back now about Wales going through, because they haven't got that home support, which is massive. So maybe Italy and Turkey could be the ones that go through on that group.
I heard there was a plumber from Swansea told his boss he was ill and, you know, was identified in Baku yesterday. So there might be a few out there.
There'll be a few out there trying to get in,
a few sickies, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's plenty of that.
So, I mean, it's a difficult one, but I would go with that. Italy. I mean, Switzerland, you never count out. They're notoriously difficult to score against.
They are, yeah.
So, you know, they could be tricky. For me, it's a hard group to call. I think, you know, for me, it's Bale. If Bale comes to the game, Bale turns up, then I think Wales have got a chance. I'm not so sure. If not, I'd say maybe Wales for best third place in that. But
there are some third places that do go through, aren't there?
It's hard to get eliminated in the first round. 16 and 24 go through.
Yeah. So I can see Wales getting through there in third then, if that's the case.
Yeah. So Group B then, Belgium, Denmark. Sorry, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and Russia. Obvious favourites there, and some people's tips for the champions. But what do you say?
Obviously Belgium will go through, no problem. And I think Russia will join them.
Do you? Yeah.
I don't know about is there a third? If there's a third place in there, possibly Denmark could get through. Yeah.
I'm gonna. I mean, what do you think? What puts you Russia over Denmark? Maybe some of the spirit of 2018, or what do you think?
Yeah, I just think Russia looks slightly stronger than Denmark. Denmark got the talisman, haven't they? Ericsson.
Yeah.
But you can't rely on one player, can you?
And they're not great at tournaments traditionally, are they? So.
No, they're not. I think Belgium, Russia, and then possibly Denmark if they can go through. I'm
going to go for a surprise one here. I'm going to say that Finland are going to be the Iceland of Euro 2021. I think again they with the 3-team potentially going through format.
Okay.
I think these teams have got they feel they have something to prove to themselves. They're at this stage, and I don't know. They're quite a good unit. I mean, I've been looking at them. I forget the star player. I really should know it, but it's only a football show. What do I know? But I just have a funny feeling about Finland. Is that they're going to be one of these tournaments? Like, look, we've made it this far, and I think it could be at the expense of Denmark or Russia. I don't know which.
I think is it Pukki? Was it Norwich?
Is that it? It could be.
Pukki plays up front for Norwich. I'm sure he's.
I think I've got a list of the star players. I wish I could say it's in my mind. Finland. Let's see. I think that could be the one we're talking about. Let's see. Well, there was. I mean, well, of course, we forget in days of old, Litmanen was a terrific player, wasn't he?
What a player.
It is Buki. You're right. Yeah, he's the one they rate, and they say that he's a sort of talisman, isn't he? So, I wouldn't count them out at all. And I think they have this team ethic, like Iceland and Wales had at the last Euros. So, I mean, I definitely put Belgium up there, but I'm going to go a little bit surprising. I'm going to go Finland second. How about that? And then Russia, I'd say, but I don't think Russia go through as the third place team. So I'd say Belgium and Finland. There's one to put the cat amongst the pigeons.
You heard it first here.
Yeah, probably last as well. But Group C: Dion, Austria, Netherlands, North Macedonia, and Ukraine. It's an intriguing one for me. What about you?
I think Holland are looking good. I think Holland could be a bit of a dark horse to win it as well. One of my tips to possibly win it. So I think they'll be fine. Ukraine are always a decent side, a good technical side. North Macedonia are on a good little run at the moment. They've been run the past year, and I think they could get through. Austria, I'm not too sure about, having seen them last week and kind of the form. Probably not them, but I think it's definitely between obviously Holland winning the group. I think they'll win the group quite comfortably.
Yeah.
And then between Ukraine, North Macedonia, and possibly if there's a third place as well on that one. But yeah, Macedonia are looking quite a good unit, hard to beat, and they've got a very good.
I think you've named another team potentially who could, the sum, the whole might be bigger than the sum of their parts, which is the way things worked at the Euros in 2016. And of course, they had that amazing victory against Germany, didn't they?
Yeah.
And that's surely gonna spur them on. Ukraine, I was listening to BBC 5 Live last night, and a couple of people were actually tipping them to win the group, and I was kind of looking at seeing if Ukraine have got a kind of a quality generation of players at the moment, and the word around is that they seem to be quite getting some praise at the moment, that they do have one of their best teams for a long time. So that they might be ones to look out for, so maybe potential quarterfinalists or something. So I mean, I would probably say Netherlands and Ukraine. I mean, I don't think I put Ukraine in top position, though some people are. So I'd say Netherlands, Ukraine, and then North Macedonia is a third place. How about that?
Okay.
And Austria to make up the numbers. They are good at tournaments traditionally, Austria, which is sort of ironic considering their neighbours, who speak the same language and basically have the same roots, are giants of tournament play.
Yeah, well, they are about 10 times bigger than them, but in size, but
true.
They're a different breed, the Germans, when it comes to
we'll get to that. Astonishing.
So
Group D, we've done obviously Croatia, Czech Republic, England, Scotland. What are your positions there? Your picks. Who's going to finish where?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think I still think it's going to be England, Croatia going through. But I don't know if we're going to win it or not, and it might not matter. It might be a bit.
No, it won't matter.
the World Cup, we finished second. It was a better route. Possibly, potentially coming second is a slightly easier route.
Well, we would play. We would play second out of Poland, Slovakia, Spain, or Sweden if we came second in the group.
Yeah, and if we came first, we'd be playing
France, Germany, Portugal, or Hungary.
Yeah, so I think we'd rather come second on that one. The only problem is coming second is we don't stay at Wembley.
No, we lose Wembley. We would go to Copenhagen and then come back for a quarterfinal, I believe, in St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
But the quarterfinal in St. Petersburg, I mean, I shouldn't be looking too far ahead, is unfortunately the winner, if that team goes through, of Group F. So we do get the group of death group winner in St. Petersburg one way or another, unless they were to lose their last 16 game.
Yeah,
we've got a very tough. We haven't got the. I mean, assuming things go to plan and France or Germany don't get eliminated early, this is nowhere near. We're not going to have that luck that we did in Russia. We're gonna come up against one of the big boys in the last 16 or the quarterfinals, and it's going to be.
I'd rather win the group and be at Wembley for most of the games. And
That's the question. Would you rather pace it and have a France or Germany in the quarters, or would you rather just get it out of the way at Wembley in the last 16?
Get it out of the way. There's no away fans. It's a massive advantage having the England fans at Wembley. We can, again, like I said before, we can create that euphoria of Euro '96 and the whole country's behind them in England at Wembley, and that could get us, past the post and get us to semi-finals at final.
Yeah, I mean, I would say my thought is that number one, we have to beat a top team sometime in a knockout tournament. We haven't done it since, God believe it or not, is 1966 final. We have not beaten a top team in a knockout stage. And people say Spain in 96, but Spain were not a top team in 96. They hadn't won a tournament. They weren't anywhere part of the elite at that point. Now they are. Yeah. So beating them would count. We've got to be, I mean, if you, more than Germany, even if you wanted me to say who I would like to knock flat on their back more than anybody, it would be Portugal. I just I haven't forgotten those games. I haven't forgotten that little snarling overrated player. No, he's not overrated. And I just would love to put one over on them. But yes, either whichever way we look at it, we have to beat somebody, an elite, a country by the quarterfinals. It's just not going to happen otherwise. So Group E then, which the second place of Group E was the second place in England's group, which is Poland, Slovakia, Spain, and Sweden. Yeah,
I mean, I can only see Spain win. Coming first in that group. Sorry, definitely. They're looking quite good. They're not the Spain.
They're not the Spain of old, though, are they? No,
but they're a very good side. They've got some really good players there. And I can only see them winning the group. And then, it's a tough one. I think.
Just backing up once again, no Ramos. Do you think that was the correct decision?
I think so. Yeah, I think he's getting on quite a bit. Mm-hmm. There's some very good centre halves now in Spain, the national side, who are younger, quicker, fitter. So it's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so you have them winning the group, and then who makes up the rest of that group?
I think Poland will go through. I think Poland quite a strong side. Lewandowski leading the line, scores a lot of goals, and I just Sweden. Not too bad in tournaments, but I don't think they're going to be quite strong enough. And the same with Slovakia. I can't see those two going through.
I think with this one, Slovakia, who are the obviously the least favoured, I actually think they won't do anything. I think they're not like a Finland or a North Macedonia, because they kind of do get into tournaments. So I don't really think they will have enough, and I don't think they'll have the whole as both of their parts. So. Yeah, I'd go for Spain. I mean, I'm really uncertain about Spain this time. They're Spain. They're always going to have technically good players, but they are going through a bit of a downtime at the moment. They haven't won a tournament knockout game since 2012.
Wow!
If you think about that, they didn't. I think they went through on penalties, didn't they, in France? And of course, Russia beat them in the last 16 at the World Cup. So they're just not what they used to be. Would I therefore see them not winning the group? Maybe, but I won't. I'll put them as group winners. But I do think Poland or Sweden, for that matter, could potentially take that group. But Poland with Lewandowski, maybe. Though I'll probably go for Spain. I'll do Spain and Sweden, just because Sweden do have a pretty good knack of getting through groups in tournaments, and then maybe Poland finish in one of the strongest thirds. So here we go then. Group F.
Group of
for Group F, you're completely. I mean, it's perfect that it's Group F, isn't it? Is it Group F for France, Dion?
I mean, you'd bet your life on it that France. Well, maybe not your life, but you'd bet a lot on France being probably the winners of the tournament, let alone winners of the group. But back, it's going to be tough. Germany and Portugal. Poor Hungary. Poor little Hungary.
Well, people say that, but I've been saying, they have 2 of their games at home. So while you would, of course, dismiss Hungary easily, there's some strange things that happen in tournaments, and there's always one giant, so-called quote unquote giant, who gets it in the group stage, and Hungary at home, nothing to lose, Budapest crowd. I believe they have France and Portugal coming to Budapest, but I do believe actually they go to Munich for the Germany game.
Yeah, France and Portugal. Yeah, Tuesday they play Portugal in Budapest. Yeah.
Yeah. We've lost you again. You doing your hair?
Just one moment.
Sure.
I'm back. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry. I know the women.
Work call.
I know there are women just waiting, and they're like, Dion.
No, it's not. I wish it's not. It's work calling, driving me mad.
All right. What do you mean? This is work. There's only one work going on for the next 4 weeks, and you know what that is. It's duty.
This is more fun.
All right. Well, Group F then. I mean, we lost you again. Oh, he's becoming the elusive Goldman today. Are we there?
I'm back. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm back. Sorry.
I was just getting used to talking to the letters. All right. So Group F then. How do you see it going? It's a very difficult one. And then there's the third place possibility.
France and Germany. I think Portugal always dangerous, but I think both France and Germany will have enough to get through.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
A lot of people are saying France and Portugal because Germany just are not what they used to be, but they are a tournament team.
They are.
So you're saying what, an England-Germany last 16?
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's almost got it written, hasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, France to win the group, though, you say?
France to win the group, yeah.
Yeah, France to win the group, Germany second. I'm going to go with France and Portugal second, not because I necessarily want that to happen, but I just think that, they have got quite a good team on paper, and they've got Ronaldo, and I just don't think Germany, have been firing much lately, and Portugal are a tournament team as well. They don't have a great record against Germany, it must be said, but I just have a feeling that'll be the case. Then I'm going to give one other scenario, which is that Hungary somehow come second.
Wow.
Because the 2 home games, they shock the world. They beat Portugal, and if you remember in France, there was a terrific game, first round, Hungary 3, Portugal 3. Do you remember that game?
I remember.
Home advantage in Budapest. They won't be scared. Portugal are terrible in the group stages. They're terribly slow starting. There's my.
So you're going for second.
Well, that's my alternative universe. Maybe universe of hope scenario, which is I would always say Germany win the group, Hungary second, but let's just say Hungary finishing second and Portugal going home would be the maybe Germany then getting a third place. So that would be my sort of hopeful universe. But I think France, Portugal, Germany to finish top as a best third place, and Hungary to go home. And then finally, no, that's it.
Yeah.
Wait, there are more? We want more.
There's another group.
All right, so those are the picks. And then overall, Dion, give me 5 picks of who could win it. They give you 5. That's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah. I mean, I've got to say England. I've got to back the boys. As
a neutral, would you back England if you had Five.
Yeah. You give me 5 teams, and I think, yeah, definitely. Belgium, for me, are the ones to watch. Mm-hmm. I think Belgium, France, again, can't count them out. World champions. They've got some great players. They'll be there and thereabouts. Holland, England, Germany.
Holland, England, Germany, France, and who are the fifth? Belgium. Okay.
Probably 5 a lot of people would go for. There's always, it can happen outsiders. When Greece won it back in 2004, who would have thought? Portugal won it, didn't they? Did Portugal win
5
it?
years ago, yeah.
Yeah. You can't count Portugal out either. They're a good tournament side. Like I say, they get better and better, especially when it comes to the knockouts. So
yeah. I mean, if you remember, I would say if you remember 5 years ago, they won. People go on about how great Ronaldo is. They won the final despite Ronaldo, not because of him. Exactly. He was out. Yeah. He was, out of the game, and they played much better. They were better organized. They were able to put their backs up against the wall, and they played to their strengths. Whereas with Ronaldo, brilliant as he is, if he's not succeeding, then the team is in disarray. So maybe you could argue that they won the Euros because Ronaldo wasn't in it.
Sorry.
That's all right. We're gonna listen. You're expensive, I know. We have to wait on your but we'll wait. We're almost done here anyway. I know you've got hundreds of better things to do. But are you coming back? That's the question. Oh,
I'm back.
God, I was going to have to tell jokes. I was going to have to do some stand-up. Then I'd be, if there was somebody in it, throw me out the window. Okay. So that's a good. I mean, that's a 5. I think many would go with. I'd stick pretty close to that. I mean, I say unfortunately France, and I've liked French football in the past. I thought Zidane, not my second team, but I was very, just sort of like found them incredibly praiseworthy, great to watch. This French team does not do that for me. It's a negative French team. They're brilliantly They're brilliant defensively. We Kante pretty knocking down pretty much every sort of forward midfield movement from the opposition. But they're not great. They've got Mbappe, but they're not a particularly inspiring team to watch. So I do hope they get knocked out. I hope I'd love to see us beat them if we get to the last 16 with them. But they are, I'm afraid, the favourites for me. I think Italy would be one maybe that I don't, that I would add to that, but probably not. But France, England, I do think we have to be considered second favourites as the bookies have us in terms of on paper. We are, we're certainly the second. We've got the second best group of players. We've got the most expensive group of players if you were to add up the individual worth of the players. So, but that's happened before 2006. And I would put Belgium probably there. Netherlands, I'm not so sure. I'd probably go with us, France. I'll go with Italy. Unfortunately, I'll go with Portugal. Let's do an outsider. Let's do a Greece, shall we? Scotland.
Go on.
No, I mean, it could be something like, it's hard, to actually win it. No, but it could be somebody weird to win it, like a Poland or a, somebody who finally just, breaks through, somebody that we haven't even tipped to leave the group, like a Czech Republic. But I mean, I'll leave it open, but maybe dark horses, Ukraine, that would be the only, since people are talking about them. But I'd follow that. I'll go England, France, Italy, Belgium, and Portugal. If I'm going
fair enough.
Conventionally.
I'd like it say.
I know you've got other shows to do. You're much in demand. But can't wait for it. These major tournaments are the best 4 weeks of our lives. I mean, well, if England, it's assuming England don't have a terrible, as long as England are there for 3 weeks, right? You just want that. It's going to be magical. It's going to be very different, obviously. We know the travel restrictions are going to make it won't be like it was before, but looking forward to some phenomenal games. And I know we're going to be there as we are toe to toe, side by side through much of it, mate.
We will be. Looking forward to it.
All right. We'll get ready for duty. It's been quite good having you on, sir. I'm sure we'll have you on plenty of times, whether you like it or not. And thanks a lot, mate. I'm going to get rid of you right now. All right, mate. Speak to you soon. Look forward to the tournament.
See you. Bye.
Some people just can't get rid of. You can't get him when you need him, and you can't get rid of him when you don't. There we go. Everything's over by the shouting. Euro 2020-21 begins in earnest in about 3 hours. Enjoy it. We'll be here, of course, throughout the tournament, bringing you all the coverage, the best coverage of England that you can possibly find. Best people, some surprise guests. Euro 2020 is underway. Enjoy it. Buckle up. It's going to be another bumpy ride with the England football team.